Sign up now at elevate.miami.edu for my course, Organized Rhyme.
Looking at the word legacy, while involving some wordplay, I'll use the first syllable to build upon. We'll use the first syllable, leg. For the second syllable, we'll use an. And for the third syllable, we'll use the word knee. So now we have leg and knee. Can we use it in context with legacy? Let's just see.
Wordsworth Productions with a S.com for all merch. I got 2 books available right now with Words of Worth Volume 1, and I also have a children's book called Socks. Age range from 12 to 15, so it's kind of like the middle school and high school age range, but adults can read it as well. What up, y'all? Welcome to another episode of What Words Are Worth. And today I got another special guest, as always, on this show. We got somebody that's always behind the scenes, but always, if you're in the industry of entertainment, whether it's music, videos, musical, TV shows, podcasts, whatever it is that you do that deals with entertainment, the man behind that camera, making sure your audio sounds correct, is Franklyn Grant. Franklyn Grant Jr., I should say, right? Because his father is a world-renowned engineer and mixer and producer of Franklyn Grant Sr., who worked with the likes of Mariah Carey and a lot of other artists that we listen to their music till today. And that's where he got the magical skills and talent and ear from to hone the same skills when doing everything else. He's worked on podcasts such as Joe Budden's podcast, State of the Culture, also Pod Wives, and also a couple other shows. But let me stop talking about them. Let's get into it. What's happening, my man?
Dubs, aka Dubs, Words.
Yo, so I wanted to bring you on here because a lot of people might not know some of the behind the scenes, the people that actually make things happen or make them sound good. And pretty much everybody knows you, man. I can go to somebody, talk to somebody, and be like, "Oh, Franklyn, you know Franklyn too? You know Franklyn?" So real people person. But you also worked on you worked with Master Ace on his musical too, the fall in the season.
Yeah.
So he's also worked on that, which we'll get into a little bit of that as well.
Don't forget Lachey Show.
The Lachey Show, yep. So tell us about where you're from, how'd you get started, and what was your first engagement with music, you know, from when you was growing up under the wing of your dad and watching him?
Okay. All right. Born in England.
Wow.
Brother born in Virginia. And we moved to Brooklyn. Raised in Brooklyn and Queens.
Okay. And you know, it's crazy. You got me thinking about that passport story. Remember your passport situation?
Yeah.
When they trying to keep you from coming back to the States or something crazy?
Yeah.
What's your passport?
I thought I lost my passport, social security card. What's the other one? Passport,
birth certificate.
Birth certificate. Thought I lost all of them, but I didn't. It was just misplaced. And then the whole fam was trying to help me get all my paperwork. So I couldn't drive or do nothing. I didn't have a license. I had nothing. Even though I had it, I just didn't have it. But you needed a proof of address or proof of one ID to get the other ID.
He has a lot of little crazy stories like that.
Yeah, I'll tell you.
But yeah, but tell us though, as far as kind of like getting into the music, like watching your dad do the music, was that the first time you really got into this? Now, for those that's watching, we've known each other probably about 25 years, a little over 25 years now, if you go back in the college years, because it's past
97.
that. So 97. So there's a long history here. So yeah, give us that history about what it was like coming up with music, with your dad, and so on and so forth.
Okay, well, and as everybody knows, music, you have a bunch of middlemen. A lot of middlemen were going on back in the days. You had to be with a record company or know somebody who knows somebody who knows somebody. It was too much. It was a lot of middlemen going on. If you produced a track, you had to get it to somebody. This is a time with no cell phones, no Instagram, no Twitter. You had no direct concept or contact with anybody at all. You had to know somebody. Trying to make it back then, there was no YouTube. You could make a song now and put it out in less than a minute. Those days was not happening.
Right.
So I ended up, my first job, I was already in the studio with my father from the SWV days and Deborah Cox before she came out. This is back in Quad. We were actually there the night when Tupac got shot. It was last floor. But anyway, it's a whole nother story. So being in it with my father, the production side, you just had to know somebody who would actually give you an opportunity to do remixes. And my father would always give me those opportunities to, here's a vocal, do something with this. But at the time, I didn't know how to play any instruments, nothing. But because I come from a sample era of doing, hip hop is not a lot of bunch of eras, instruments. You're always sampling something, or you dummy play. You play something now, but if you try to play it again tomorrow, you wouldn't be playing it again. So you work it out, record it, and it's there. So the world was very hard. It was very complex for me in those days, but there's a lot of middlemen. So it was very discouraging for somebody like me because I didn't come from playing a bunch of instruments. I wasn't up on it like a Ninth Wonder or Primo. I wasn't up on it too much. I still didn't have a lot of equipment that I was supposed to have, like the SV1200 and the MPC 1200 and 2400. I didn't have that stuff. So I went and got a job at Sam Ash and I acquired all my equipment.
Yeah, Sam Ash, that's pretty much the Guitar Center for us today. Guitar Center, I think there might be a few Sam Ashes left, but it definitely, it's like Guitar Center for us, especially I remember that in Brooklyn, going down to Sam Ash, having everything and to make beats. So what was your first beat? What did it sound like? Your first track when you started, or your first mix, what did it sound like?
My first track ever sampled, I actually sampled Mobb Deep was the first thing I ever sampled.
Wow.
My father was teaching me how to sample on the 1200. You used to have to speed. It only gave you a certain amount of time to sample, but it was by bit rate. I learned that now. It's by bit rate. So you had a certain amount of time. You had to speed up a record real fast,
right,
to get the whole thing, a whole length, to be in there real quick, and then it was slowed down. That's where you get all the vocals sounding like chipmunks and everything. That's why that era was very real. My first thing to sample was Mobb Deep, Drug Dealing, Only Mess with Shorties That's Appealing, and I looped that till it finished. And then it was my practice. Then Tribe Called Quest to get there. You had to sample a bar to make it seem like it was seamless. So I was just doing that as a practice. That was pretty ill. So now I knew the concept of what you had to do, but I was following people like Ty Fife, who my father taught how to do music. You guys know Ty Fife. You look up Ty Fife. You look up his work, you'll see his stuff. But my father taught me a lot of that stuff on how to sample.
And then that was your first thing. Did you get any placements? Like, did anybody say, "Oh, I like this beat that Franklyn did. I want to use that. I'm trying to do it on a remix"? Or what was your first moment that gave you confidence that said you could do this?
My father gave me some J-Lo instrumentals and said, try and see what you could do with this thing here. And I got a lot of instrumentals from Menavision because my father's always in the studio. So I always had the instrumental.
Yeah.
And the first day was on who's doing a remix on this next song.
Mm-hmm.
My problem was I wasn't trained properly on what to deliver, know that you can change and rewrite a song. So my first time when I actually said, okay, let me try this. And they put out a Jennifer Lopez acapella. So I recorded that, put it in the MPC, sampled the whole thing because I didn't have Pro Tools. Pro Tools wasn't even around yet.
Right.
So you had to put it in the S900, speed it up, slow it down for it to be able to fit in there. So you had to do everything on one take. Pro Tools wasn't even out yet. So here I am trying to do a song and remix it, do a beat around it. Ja Rule came and took an entire beat, rewrote the whole song, everything. The one with Ja Rule and J-Lo. And it came out, it was a beast.
Yeah,
Before, people was used to remixing a song with the same vocals doing a beat over it.
Yeah, it wasn't.
He remixed the whole thing, wrote the whole song all over it, did it.
Changed the
I was
whole
like,
thing.
that was pretty dope right there. That was fire. I can't even deny it. So it was what it was.
So that was like your first time kind of like getting a taste of working on something, then kind of understanding that things can be changed and you could tailor it to something else.
Mm-hmm.
So then after you're starting to learn that, did you ever start getting that confidence to say, you know what, I'm gonna start looking for some artists that you wanted to sign? Or were you gonna rap yourself? You was a rapper?
Don't even ask me, because
You was a rapper?
I could write some lines. I'm a one hotline wonder. I'll tell you that. One line wonder. I always felt in my mind I was a Kanye different and 50 Cent mixed with Onyx. I'm all three of those, but I don't have. Can you imagine being all three of those and you got no guts to get on stage? That's me.
Yeah.
Right there. I'm Onyx, 50, and Kanye, but I had zero guts to get on a stage. So
yeah, he's a huge Onyx fan. The other day we went test driving some cars and they had Sirius Spotify in there. Automatically he put on some Onyx, so he's a huge Onyx fan. One day we went to SOBs and we did karaoke. We did slam, and nobody knew nobody else's verse. We did sticky verse like 4 times. We did three.
We did 3 times.
We did sticky verse. I'm a B-boy, standing in my B-boy stance.
Hurry, get the microphone before
the hook come up, slam, and everybody know. We came right back in. I'm a B-boy. We just kept doing sticky verse over and over.
Yeah,
so
that was downtown Manhattan with Ferris.
Yeah,
Ferris. Yeah, Forrest.
With Forrest. Yeah.
Forrest.
So, all right. So then you go from that, and then you started being in the studio more here and there with your dad, and you watching things, and then eventually you start mixing some music, right? For people, do you start getting into the mixing side of things more so?
Yes, I started mixing my own tracks and knowing what to listen for and how to make the hi-hat sit where it's supposed to be, the snare. I had OCD. So I would listen to other people's tracks, listen to my father tell me. I have OCD with things. When I learn something, I got to burn it out, learn everything that thing could do and what could make it better. So my tracks ended up living on a tape. In those days, they were saying to people, yo, this is nice. Let me get this tape.
Yeah.
And it's always your only cassette, and you never know what they're going to do with it. So I just never give my tape away. Even down to Havoc, like I'm here in a car in his Range Rover outside. I remember I was at BBQs them days. In the cars with people, let me take this tape. I just never gave my tapes away. That could be a problem right there. Because looking back, you should have just kept making tracks and just giving your stuff out.
Yeah.
Redundantly, if you think about it, you should just be
I used to think like that.
Throwing things out.
Yeah. I used to think like that. But
your brain is so versed on, dang, if they take this sample, it's out there. It happened anyway. It happened with me. I had an idea to do a song with Jay-Z and Lenny Kravitz. Before that came out, when he had left, I did a song together, and it was supposed to be for Jay-Z, Lenny Kravitz, and I made the track, ended up giving that to Chip Fu.
Okay. And shout out to Chip Fu.
So I gave them that track, but then I blabbed my mouth to somebody, and that person went to Heavy D. Next thing you know, I see that happen.
Yeah, I think everybody has those stories and that concern of like letting your ideas out and trying to hold on to the ideas. I used to be like that on the vibe with rhymes. I used to be like, yo, will I ever run out of rhymes? I don't know if I should keep things sacred. But like you learn over time that you are who you are. You were put here for a purpose to create. So you'll just come up with new stuff. And there's so many puzzles to this thing that it's always a new puzzle. So for me, when people talk to me about like making music and writing rhymes and how people play Candy Crush, like my wife loves Candy Crush and all these games, how she play those games, how people play those games on their phone. My puzzle is words, like finding new words. That's my puzzle. So I never have that fear of just like running out and doing things.
Well, you're redundant.
Yeah. I just try to stay on top.
Let me go back with this dude.
No.
Let me go back with this dude. I know this is your show. This dude, remember when two-way pages came out? Before the two-way pager came out, just so y'all don't know what a two-way pager is, after the talk about where you used to have to text out. You had to text out whatever you wanted to send to somebody. He was using it as a notepad and writing his rhymes in the two-way pager as it comes. Before it would be on a paper, all over little spots of the paper, and put this rhyme together with this one, and just I used to watch that and admire. I was like, that's crazy. But I would do it. But I was not, my mind was more on focused on doing production. But him, two-way pager, close it. Two-way pager, close, text it to himself, everything. You didn't think I knew all that, right?
Nah, I
Typewriter. When the computer came out,
nah, I had to transfer. I had to kind of like get used to that though, because it took a minute. Because I was so used to like writing that,
down.
but then I realized as
fast,
a purist, and when you're a traditionalist, and the way we grew up, knowing that we've seen the other ways of how we've done it, you can get stubborn. You know, I'm sure you know about you can be stubborn in your ways of how you do something as a traditionalist
Yep.
that you don't want to switch. But I was like, I'm against that type of stuff, especially heavy nowadays. Somebody teach me something that's the new wave of doing it, I'm just going to jump into the new wave of it. But so let's go from there. You start doing the mixes, different things like that. I get to know you. You start working on music. You know, my wife, your dad was helping to produce her, and they started working on music. And then later on, you started getting more into using that skill of audio and visual, and start saying, okay, I don't want to be in front of the camera. So, you know, it's rare to have you here. So you're always behind the camera. What's the first TV or visual thing that we're watching at home on TV, like, oh, this show is fire, or this podcast is fire, that you first started working at?
as far as recording?
Yeah, recording audio or video. First TV show that may be major, or
Back to the whole music industry having so many middlemen. You had a record company here, then you have the artist here, or the producer here. But to get to that, the goal was to get to the record company or an independent, which ended up coming later.
Yeah.
You had so many people in between, somebody's cousin, somebody's friends, just to get stuff done. I got discouraged a lot. So a lot of people from the music industry went over to the film industry.
Oh, okay, got you.
Because Napster came out,
right?
Pro Tools came out. Once Pro Tools hit, everybody's recording their songs from home and in their closet. So that eliminated the studios.
Which reminds me, my first album, Mirror Music, he helped me record that. That was the first time I had a home studio. You brought the M-Box.
No, we
The
had
M-Box
before the
too?
M-Box, we had the Digi 002.
Oh, that's what
we had.
They did.
We had the full console.
The full console thing.
Yeah.
That was the big joint. And you used to carry that everywhere, which is crazy.
Yeah.
Because that's how you are anyway. You carry
that
all
was
the
purchased only for these two.
Yeah, he had that.
Fries
and then you
doves.
had the M-Box with the blue face. That was it. That was the first M-Box.
That was yours.
Right?
You purchased that.
Did I purchase that?
Yeah, you ended up getting that after because Digi 02 was coming obsolete.
Oh, yeah.
Then you got the M-Box with the blue on it.
But you were the one that introduced me to the home recording stuff. And then he would really engineer a lot of that stuff.
In the closet.
Yeah.
Queens.
All that. Queens. Lived in Queens.
Queens, Brooklyn, Connecticut.
Yeah.
You was mobile at this point. You don't even need a studio anymore.
Right.
You go in your closet with a bunch of clothing and you were completely soundproofed. And
so
the OCD works with that.
So you said people from the industry started going into the entertainment game. So you said that's when you started getting your big breaks?
OCD. So you brought it right back. Yeah. So the middlemen, so much middlemen and discouragement from Napster and all this stuff, and then Pro Tools, no more studio. I went to school for engineering. So nobody's using studios anymore. So now you just mobile. I didn't know how to deal with that. So I ended up.
Tell us real quick, because before you about getting into that, because he mentioned so much stuff that he's not giving the full backstory. He went to school for engineering. What happened? What school did you go to, and what happened? Tell us about this.
Institute of Audio Research, downtown Manhattan, next to NYU. My father went there. My brother went there. I went there. 3 generations. So all of us going there, touching audio gear was a thing that not a lot of people could do, because you can go to that school, but if you have no access to a studio, you were getting coffee or going to get food for people and interning at Wildness. Well, because of my father, he had access to my uncle's studio, which is Ralston Recording. You could look that up. And he built his own studio after that with Mohan Jagnaran, which was in Queens.
Mm-hmm.
And that was called Bass Clef. And he was doing his stuff with 50 Cent, Mariah Carey, and all Sony. And they ended up coming to do their stuff at that studio in Queens in Richmond Hill. That's how 50 got his stuff going on over there. And
so that I just wanted, because I just want, even though I know you've kind of self-taught in a lot of ways too, but also showing that you did actually go to school for that. So now bring us back to meeting some entertainment people that had some music, TV shows or stuff that got you into the game. What was the first like opportunity on a visual level?
I'll tell you exactly why I got into the visual. Sorry for the hood comments I'll make. I took a friend of mine, you remember Doug, where you recorded one of your songs. His wife was in one of the music videos that I had to supply people for. And this dude had his pants down below his waist. So he was just really unprofessional, forgetting his lenses and everything. And he got paid a lot of money for that video shoot. And I'm like, this guy's got some gold here. And he was a super hood, pants down and just bending down in front of people and as if he was fake. It was wild. It was really wild. He was really unprofessional. It was crazy. And I said, damn, that camera is a DSLR. And I started learning about that. And then I researched cameras and went and got a Sony FS7 and started to do this my damn self. So I ended up getting that camera, going to go shoot a couple of videos, just tried it out, ended up making it out there. So I said, this is something I could really do. So I'm walking down the street with a Sony FS7. It's a huge camera. It's about 3 feet long after it's built out. Walking down the street on Fulton in Brooklyn. Fulton and Flatbush. You just don't do that.
That's crazy.
But I had left Connecticut, drove down, took a train, parked, and we're walking down the street, and a producer had saw me and told me to come inside this building. Pause. So I get inside the building and I realize it's called Brick TV. So I go in there, I meet one guy, and then that guy ends up introducing another guy. And before that, I ended up working at Magic Lemonade, Joe Budden.
Okay.
Podcasts, like all these things, like doing the pilots.
Okay.
Revolt TV, Mass Appeal, for Nas, Rock Nation, Jay-Z, but it had to build to get to that level.
What are you doing exactly there? That's what we want to know. We want to know you said you go to Joe Budden, you're working there. What are you doing off camera that people can say, oh, okay, so that's what you were doing?
Okay, people fear audio. For some reason, people fear audio because cameras, you always have 3 or 4 cameras. If this shot's messed up, you can go to that one. That shot's messed up, go to the wide. You always got a backup. When it comes to audio, people take a dump on audio and film in audio. It's just a thing. It's known. You take a dump on audio, they're not important, even though they're the most important. So.
Oh, yeah, because when you say that, people take a dump on audio. Who always gets it the worst at a show? The sound man. Any little thing happen, dudes be ready to kill the sound man.
Ready to kill the sound man.
Or something happen, the show go bad, blame it on the sound man.
Yeah.
You know, anything go wrong, sound man always gets it. So I can understand.
All the time. If they bump the DJ on the record, they turn around looking right at the DJ. Not the visual.
Right.
They're messing with the DJ.
So yeah, you working on there, you're working on the audio at Joe Budden Podcast.
So I didn't get called for the Joe Budden Podcast after the fact. This is all the pilots.
Yeah.
This is what I was called for. Somebody called out sick and I ended up working for them, and they ended up keeping me.
Okay.
Twice. I wasn't supposed to even be on that job. Somebody else called out sick and I went on to do it. I did a great job. So I'm known as the guy, don't call him if you're sick, because if I get in that position, they're just not going to call you back. Because I have OCD, but it's a great OCD. I'm not a weirdo. But my OCD seems professional, and it's just a thing. It's sad. It's a bad trait. I don't like it, so I really don't like to go work for people when they're sick. I just don't, because I know what's gonna happen. It's not cocky, but I just know what's gonna happen. So with the film part, that's what I got into, and I ended up getting kept on that one. So it's the Joe Budden podcast, the Pod Wives. Oh yeah,
Pod Wives, same thing, audio.
Yeah, everything is all audio because on these shows, these podcasts, it was just coming about.
Yeah, so
nobody thought podcast was going to be the thing. Apple came up with the word pod.
Yeah, and then nobody really thought about like the visual aspect to it. So then let's go a little bit forward to shout out to Master Ace working on a musical called the Fallen Season. I actually paid to watch it. The Cabaret recently, I paid to watch it online. But he also did a reading of it and with the live show and kind of done that. And you were a part of that as well.
Yes.
Okay. Sir. What was your I guess your job there?
Audio. Gotta get some dump taken on. So
what was it like doing that? Because it was your first time. That's a big undertaking. It's a musical, there's a lot of moving parts. We're talking about hundreds of moving parts at that time. Timing and the audience there. And I heard it was some big wigs there. So what is that? What was that pressure?
Joe and them and then popping up there. That's crazy. So Ace knows a lot of people. Shay knows a lot of people.
Yeah.
You know a lot of people. No matter who you performing for, doing your stuff, I don't care if it's 50 Cent getting on the stage. He still gets nervous before every show. Like he says, here I am, nervous for doing this project, but I'm doing it. You go through it, but you still have your stomach butterflies going on in your stomach. If you don't feel fear, then you have a problem. But we all feel this certain level of fear.
Yeah.
Because you don't want to fail. So anything can go wrong. Anything can get sabotaged. Anybody can pull a plug on your thing and make you look like you're the bad guy, especially the audio people. So 2 weeks, it's performance. It's 2 weeks worth of rehearsal the first week, all the way up to 2 days before. It was intense. You got different pockets of people performing different parts of that play all at the same time.
How long did it take you, or did it take you to learn the board? Because these mixing boards for these type of things, they're kind of massive and extensive, even though they have also an expansion to the iPads as well. You got to learn the iPad, and then the iPad has to be programmed to the board, and then the board. There's so many things going on. What's it like to learn that board and the iPad? How difficult is that, or does your experience from the past kind of make it easier for you?
I'll tell you what it's like. Everybody knows how to use a TV. Power button on. TV's on. But each TV has its own menu system.
Yeah.
Completely. Some have 4 HDMIs, some got 8, some got 22. It's just a thing. So when you get a new console put in front of you, and the person who brought it to you is the owner of it, but they're not staying, they're gone somewhere, you got to learn this console in a matter of days to make it function to do what those people want you to do with it.
Yeah.
And on that stage, that console was 16. It was a 16 track. It was a 32 track board, but it had 15 to 16
automated
actors.
Actors. Yeah.
Yeah. The amount of scenes, I forgot how many scenes it was.
And every scene has a different lighting.
Yep. Not only that, but it had each scene had its own song on it.
Oh yeah.
And its own set of actors in that scene.
Yeah.
Then it had another program that I had to learn along that is made just for stage play.
Right.
So now when you learn that one, when I learned what it could do, I'm like, oh, my OCD. Right. Let's put the effects in everything.
He's not gonna leave it. He's not gonna leave it regular. If he finds anything out that this thing gonna do, he's gonna be like, that'll be dope. Let's add it. So anything he works on with you, he's not gonna leave it normal. No. But go ahead.
But I wanted to learn all that part too, so that I did end up doing that. But now you can put let's say it was a gunshot here, somebody got shot, you hit space bar, puts the gunshot out. The next part that comes in is somebody's running. You would hear that, you hit the space bar, it does that. So every time you hit the space bar, it's the next piece in that scene. But if you hit the space bar twice, now it's gonna play the wrong audio for what it was with. Right. it was intense because we learned for the whole 2 weeks, and then now it's 2 days before showtime. All those 16 people are now rehearsing it in front of me for the first time the day before the show.
Yeah.
That was heavy to know that some big wigs are going to be coming watching the show, and here you are, you're seeing the play the day of, after 2 weeks, everybody practicing, but I'm seeing it was either the 9th or something day before it, and I have to make this console work with what they're doing right now for tomorrow, or else everybody's going to turn around and look at me like a DJ.
Yeah.
It was not a good feeling. Not a good feeling. Your stomach's intense. Nobody better talk to you. Just leave me alone. Don't come over here. What's up? Ian passed by. Joe, all of them. It's just crazy. I'm like, hey, how you doing? Okay, great. But you can't talk to nobody because you're making that show happen, even though that show's happening, but you're behind the scenes and you will look like a jerk. The last thing you want to do is just make Ace's show look bad, or Shay look bad because she was in the show.
Yeah.
And
But it worked out.
Gorilla Nims, all of them. It was a lot of good characters on that show. You don't want to make none of them look bad, because you could have one person muted and their person's line, and you just unmute it. Now is it? No, now this is a problem. So yeah, you always get crapped on as the audio guy.
So let's go from there to some of the latest stuff that I saw. You showing me a trailer of a movie you're working on.
Oh yes.
What's this movie that you worked on? This one you did audio and video.
Yes.
On this one, so you were camera behind the camera and the audio. So this is an upcoming film.
The main camera op, yes.
Oh, do you have a release date for this film?
No,
okay,
we're
that's
still
fine.
Working on. Yes,
we can still talk about it though.
Yes, so it was supposed to be made into a full on film, but nobody's really watching a 3-hour film.
Yeah.
So it was said by a nice person with a great idea, Camille Bradshaw, to turn it into a series. So now it got chopped up so it can be a series, and now the characters can have some longevity. Sometimes not everything is meant to just be a movie.
For real.
Like you making a song, you can actually make Beyonce Lemonade. So now all the songs turn. So now the whole thing turns into a movie, and it's bigger than what you thought it was.
Or the album might just need to be an EP. Or different things like that.
That part.
So what? So you're doing this. What was it like? Now you're on camera now. So now you got the responsibility of both. What was it? Were you more concerned or comfortable behind the camera versus the audio, or was it the same pressure?
I'm comfortable where I need to be. Every set I go on, people call me MacGyver.
Yeah.
Something's broke, I got some solution. This camera's down, I got another camera in the car. This mic's broke, I have one of those in the car. The lighting's down, I got lights in the car. I always come with everything extra in the buggy. So
remember the last time me, you, and AL, all lyrical out there, we went to go eat, and you had all the cameras and stuff in your car, and you had a camera in the car watching the cameras in the car.
Yeah. I didn't know you remembered that. Yeah.
He had a camera in the car watching the cameras in the car.
Yeah.
So he's overly prepared. So that TV series is something next to look forward to, right? So
yes. This is called Big Italy. It's a film called Big Italy. It's going to be renamed possibly. We're not sure, because certain networks want to know why is it called Big Italy. So that's a whole nother thing. But it's got a lot of pretty great people in it. It was filmed really well. Carlos Slusher, directed by Alex Hugo, and brought together by another guy named Rob Solis. Noma Social up in New Rochelle. So pretty big wigs in there in that film. But it was fun filming that, because you had a lot of mishaps on set. A lot of mishaps. The dynamic of different personalities.
Right.
Me, I got the same personality every day. I'm just happy I woke up. That's it. I start with that part, and it's just to just rock with it. Let's make this project happen, and just pour your ideas in. Some people just go and they want to get a check and they want to go home.
Yeah.
Me, I don't mind. I want to get the check, but I want, what can we do better to make this better?
Right.
That is a problem that I have.
It's not a bad problem.
It's
man.
not a bad problem as you get abused. Like,
I think-
he's about to do this much,
Yeah.
and we only paying him $1.
Yeah,
they
I'm
want.
I'm on that vibe too, but I have a cutoff valve. You know, I will be
Yeah, I don't
like,
have a cutoff valve.
I'm done with that. You
I
know,
want the cutoff valve. I wish I could control that cutoff valve, yo, but I can't do it.
nah, yo, I appreciate you. You know what I mean, for rocking for all these years. Let the people know, you know, your social media, how to get in touch with you and everything.
Social media is everything is at Franklyn Grant, OCD, FrankLynGrant. You type those words in straight, everything will come up
Instagram,
on everything.
everything.
Everything's all the same letters.
So if you want to hire him to come film something, be the audio engineer, and kind of maybe even overlook and produce something, contact him, Franklyn Grant, on Instagram, Facebook, wherever you see him and everything like that. And, you know, shout out to Franklyn again. He really didn't want to get on camera to do this because he doesn't do, I don't think he's done any interviews like that. But if you ask anybody, I'm telling you, probably anybody you know, and you go ask him, yeah, you ever heard of Franklyn Grant? You know, Franklyn Grant, he do this and that. They're going to be like, oh, Franklyn, yeah, this and that. Because he's such a loving person, and he loves to help everybody with everything that everybody just, you know, loves having him around when they're working on stuff, because he's not going to just be there. He's going to also pour into the project and give his best efforts into it like that. So once again, shout to, you know, my special guest, Franklyn Grant Jr. Shout to Franklyn Grant Sr. and everybody else out there. Make sure you sign in. Make sure you like and subscribe, please, on this. And make sure y'all check out everything else I got going on. And like I always say, what are your words worth? Peace, y'all. See, man.